Intro. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary friends. I am Will Jones, Greenstone, whichever one you want to call me. And today I'm going to be talking about... I don't know, really. Tomorrow's video is a Q&A, and if people don't comment Q&As, like questions are down in these comments, that's fine. I'll come up with some concepts myself. Plus, the animation will be uploaded potentially today or tomorrow, depending on how fast I can finish it off or extend it. I'm not sure. I went with the flow on this one. And yes, it does connect with the last animation, which was red versus blue. Now, just explaining the story behind red versus blue. The red killed some of blue's people, which are blue stick figures. And right now, there are multiple coloured stick figures, and, well, let's just say, they're the last coloured stick figures out there. There are some stick figures that are grey. The grey stick figures are the most common, but the coloured ones aren't, because of red and purple's destruction. That's why blue punched him, or her, haven't decided on the gender yet, or they, depending, not sure yet, punched them with a gigantic fist. It's one of their abilities, growing. It's basically Monkey D. Luffy. Red's power is basically Naruto's. Now, as for the last part of that animation, there was a purple stick figure. The purple stick figure is the combination of power, which is blue, and rage, which is red. Both of them combining into destruction. Purple is destruction, the main villain of this story. Now, I'll tell you now, there is going to be a confusing bit in the future animation where there's a purple stick figure who turned yellow. I will explain this little bit of it. Red took all the red out of orange, which created yellow. Don't worry, you'll see it. But just to make sense of it all, the coloured stick figures have abilities, while the grey stick figures do not. The coloured stick figures are the last of their kind, or potentially. You never know, I never know. And all of them have a fascinating ability. With orange, now I'm going to say super speed and creating portals. Just going to throw that out there. Now, back to today's video of not explaining how my animations are going. Someone in my class told me, we were having a little talk about my channel, told me that they don't really like these conversation videos where they don't have an idea, which I can understand, but they have to understand Mondays are just conversation videos where I just talk randomly. Now, if you don't like that, that's fine. Tuesdays are Q&A, Wednesdays are... hold on, let me check. Wednesdays, give me a second. No, I didn't put it back in there, I put it in my blazers. Yeah, my school has blazers, I know, it's... ugh. If you've worn a blazer, you understand why it went ugh. This blazer, ugh, half the time. The Colour Code Idea Book. And yes, that's the actual name of it. Yeah, okay, here it is. Mondays, random talks, which is what I'm doing right now. Tuesdays, Q&A part 3 tomorrow. Wednesdays, future content, the ideas that I have that I would like to bring out there and like to do. And I will be talking about stories. We could, instead of do Wednesdays, I can talk about a story if you want me to. like explain an idea of a story that we want to make. Thursday's animation, which hopefully I could get it done by Thursday. Thursday is also probably one of these talk videos. Fridays is a recap of the week, my personal week. Yes, I know my hair looks weird. I haven't washed it, so it's kind of all over the place because I haven't washed it. And plus, my hair has perfectly stayed still. Oh, well, speak of the devil. But those are the things. Now, I don't know if this person wants me to say their name right now, so I won't, just in case. They might see this video. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is two things. Originally, this page was supposed to be Q&A questions, but I decided against it. See, today's little thing is, what does Angelic Funhouse do? Angelic Funhouse is a member of the Color Codes. Sorry. A member of the Color Codes. Who does Roblox videos and will in the future do story videos like me. And also wishes to go to haunted houses and such forth, so on. Now, this next part is my personal thing. My theory on FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's, to me, is a very interesting game and book and movie, but then in the future, like October the 27th, I believe. I'm not sure. I'm not that smart. But my theory is on Security Breach and how the animatronics, the main animatronics, may base some similar personalities to the Afton family. Now, I may hear some of you being like, what? How? But I'll get to that. I just want to first point off that the personalities of the animatronics. Glamrock Freddy is a protective animatronic, caring, kind, what you would see. That is his personality. Meanwhile, with Chica, she's hungry, more or less, fast as well. That's not part of the personality, that's just, I don't know what it's called. All you can base Chica off of is hungry and worrying of her friends, as we saw in the intro of Security Breach, where she was concerned about Glamrock Freddy. Now, let's get into the two interesting characters that I have, which is Monty and Roxy, two new characters to the franchise. Now, it makes sense, Roxy, Foxy, replacement, or a new version of it, the girl version, which I'm guessing Mangle was technically the girl version of it, but nonetheless, Gator's a new one, unless he wasn't. Just keep that in mind for future videos. Now, the personality of Gator is anger, just pure anger. You don't really see any other personality, but anger and what's the word I'm looking for? Not inspiration. Wishful thinking. I'll explain this part now. I believe that William Afton and Gator have a similar personality. As game theory has demonstrated, William Afton was jealous of Henry Emily, which I can see that in their main timeline. The timeline doesn't make sense itself, but does make a good story. I will give them that. Now, with Glamrock Gator, it's pure anger and hatred towards someone, which would have been Freddy. Freddy symbolizes Henry Emily. I've realized that now. We all believe that Michael Afton possesses, Freddy. Michael Afton could have gotten that from Henry Emily. The, emotional state of Henry Emily. Plus, who says Glamrock Freddy isn't possessed by two people? Who knows, really? With Chica, I believe it could be, what's her name? Miss Afton, or Clara Afton, depending if you agree with that name or not. Now, Clara Afton, we don't really know much about, but personally I believe she was one of those gold digger type people. It's expressed through the food of Chica. Now, I understand if anyone reacts to this, they're going to be like, wait, what? How? Huh? The food is the money in some words of it. I really need to write a script because some of these words I'm blanking on. Thumbnail ideas. I'm not going to do thumbnails this week. I'm going to try next week. Maybe I could do it then. But I believe that. And Roxanne is Elizabeth Afton, who's giving herself approval when her father potentially didn't. Now, that leads to one last character, which is Glamrock Freddy. It's odd, isn't it? I've named every single Afton besides the Crying Child. Now, many of you will find it interesting with this, but Glamrock Freddy is, of course, Michael. But we haven't talked about two other new characters to the franchise, Sun and Moon. They may not be a Crying Child like animatronic, that is Gregory, but I want to bring attention to this little thing of mine, which is Sun and Moon could be a symbolization to Fredbear and Nightmare. Now, you may be like, how so? Shouldn't Fredbear be a nightmare to him? Fredbear was originally supposed to be a kind animatronic, as for Nightmare was not. Game Theory has said, oh, it's an illusion disc, so Nightmare, Fredbear, and Nightmare are potentially the same thing. So, it brings me to the point of, how is Gregory the Crying Child? If Crying Child passed on, well, with Game Theory's idea is that Miss Afton created Gregory to be a new version of the Crying Child. Now, it doesn't say, oh, the Crying Child possesses Gregory and he's like, yeah, no. Potentially that could be a factor, but no, I don't believe so. Now, I will go and make a full-fledged video potentially tomorrow if there's not any Q&A questions down there. Please do some Q&A questions. I'll potentially do a FNAF bit as well, if you ask for my ideas of FNAF. Okay, goodbye. Well, this is goodbye. Have a nice day, everyone, and ta-da! Outro.